Happy Spiritual Sunday to you all and welcome back. So it's been another week. The world is evolving. You know, the world moves no matter what. As we say in simple terms, even in the physical world, time marches on. So day by day things are advancing. How much more in the spiritual realm? That there is an advancement towards the ultimate goal and mission for which we came to this world. Which we talk about basically every class in the Kabbalah Center, every spiritual Sunday, is about how to return, manifest the perfection that the Creator gave us. And so, as we do every week, or almost every week, Karen's book, Simple Light. So I opened up to this morning to share with you. So often in our lives, our inner voice, our angel of God, will instruct us not to take a particular action because of the negative outcome that will follow if we do. But when we are led by ego, we figure out all the reasons why we should ignore the angelic voice and do what we want to do anyway. We need to learn to weigh our actions by asking, how is this action going to affect others? I want to repeat that. Before we do something, we need to ask, as Karen said, how is this action going to affect others? If I take this action, am I being considerate of the entire human race? These questions can act as guidelines for all our behavior. And as you're about to see, very apropos to today's lesson. But as we do, let's embrace and implant in a stronger, deeper way inside our heart and soul the truth. And as we do that, it's like washing a glass. As we infuse ourselves with the light of truth, which is an aspect, or this affirmation is an aspect of that light of truth, we're flushing out and transforming our chaos to order, our darkness to light, and our negativity into positivity, hatred to love. So we say it together. Consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. And remember, the reason that it's good to say, because every word we speak is a manifestation. Yes, thoughts also, ideas also come from the light of the Creator inside of us, either pure, so to speak, directly from our soul, or it's still from the light of the Creator through this thing called the opponent, this original AI program we put in our head, like Karen called it in this paragraph, the ego. We call it the opponent, the adversary, the challenger. It's still ultimately from the light of the Creator, but in that case it's filtered through all of our previous negative actions. Like Karen said, if we're already thinking to do something negative, we need to pause, because that's just the same old coming back again and again. 3 lifetimes ago, we were hurt by somebody, we screamed and yelled out of hatred, revenge, anger, and we've been doing it ever since. So something today triggers you, and you feel like screaming and yelling out of anger and judgment or revenge. It's just the same old. It's nothing new. It's the opponent in your head that makes you think, well, this person, when they said or did what they said or did, they caused the trouble in your life. No, they pushed on the wound, and that's why it hurts, that you created this life, past life, previous lives. What you and I learned from Kabbalah 1 Forward is how to stop in that moment And as Karen said, we call it, when you're triggered, pause. But now Karen is saying, so what do you ask in that moment? Is what I would thought to do going to negatively impact not only the person in front of you, but the entire human race? And you'll see how perfect that is for today's lesson. So let's start with a little personal story. So when I was a kid, there were just the original Lego blocks. It wasn't all this fancy stuff that kids have today. It was just simple building blocks and a little framed window. I don't even think there were people. So anyway, you have the pieces out of the box, you build what you want to build, and whether you like it or not, at the end, when you're finished playing, you take the pieces apart, put them back in the box, and you wait till the next time. And the next time, you take them out of the box, same pieces, you build what you want to build, and now you build something that says, it's not quite the way I like it. It doesn't look like I want it to look. It's not the way I want it to be. And so you take the pieces apart, same pieces, and you put them back together in a different order, in a different way. Or maybe you decided you were building a house and now you want to build, a castle. Or you want to build a tree or whatever it may be. Similarly, with jigsaw puzzles. And I don't know if you did the same thing that I did, but when I was younger, of course, you get, maybe 200 or 300, maybe 500 piece jigsaw puzzle. So you open up the box, you pour the pieces out, and now you're feeling really excited and challenged to put all those pieces together. So you start assembling the pieces the way my older brothers taught me. First, you start with the frame, because it's easy to tell the piece, right? It's all square on the outside, it's straight on the outside, so that's the outside frame. But here and there, because I'd want to do it quickly or I'd want to do it and complete the puzzle, you see two pieces as you're looking in the parts in the middle, and you see two pieces that almost look perfectly fit together, and you kind of squeeze them, right? Squeeze them together, and you go on and you keep building, and suddenly after a while, as you're putting more and more of the pieces together, you realize that those two pieces that you put together, they weren't a perfect match. They weren't the two perfect pieces that fit perfectly together as in the original jigsaw puzzle. So what do you do now? Take them apart, and you find the pieces that fit perfectly, and you put them back together. Again, same pieces like the Lego. It's the same pieces out of the box. The jigsaw puzzle is the same pieces out of the puzzle box, but you're arranging them differently. And yes, sometimes you take the two pieces apart, and now you're looking for other pieces, and you find another piece that looks, this one looks like it fits. And you kind of squeeze it again together. You can kind of tell it's not exact, but of course, as now I think about it, back then, I'm thinking, well, maybe when they cut it, it wasn't cut perfectly or something like that. So it's close enough, and I put it together. And then again, you keep assembling until now you realize, wait, no, these two pieces also don't fit together perfectly. So you take them apart and you keep doing until you build the whole puzzle. Same pieces, same Lego pieces, same jigsaw pieces. Then we've come into the 19th and 20th, the 20th and 21st centuries. And in the 20th century, scientists came up with something that we call high tech. I mean, high tech has been going on, it's funny. Yes, okay. When I was younger, they had what they called hi-fi, high fidelity systems, like high tech. We always had a technology. I mean, in simple terms, a broom was technology, right? At some point, I don't know how they swept the floors, but suddenly there was the high technology of a broom, versus, I don't know, a rag cleaning the floor. And then came higher tech, the vacuum cleaner, etc. So in the 20th century, I don't believe they've actually done it. It's a concept, except maybe on a microscopic level, simple. But the idea of nanotechnology, the concept, when I first heard about it, was pretty amazing. Instead of taking all our garbage and throwing it away and putting in a garbage dump, the scientists theorized that we could develop a machine that you'd put all the garbage, because everything in the universe on a physical level made of protons, neutrons, electrons, right? Atoms. So they were saying that if we could develop a machine that could take everything, like those jigsaw pieces or like the Lego, take all the garbage and take it apart into its protons, neutrons, and electrons, or even let's just call it its atoms, and then reassemble it. You could take, I don't know, aluminum foil out of the trash, take it apart into atoms, so it's whatever, thousands of individual atoms, and then if you want a glass bottle, you just sort of take out of this box of atoms enough atoms, put it in the machine, and the machine would arrange the atoms into the atomic structure of glass. So it's started as the atomic structure of aluminum, and it gets taken apart like Lego pieces, and then just put back together into the atomic structure of glass, or whatever it is. You could make cars, you could make airplanes, whatever you want, because everything is made of atoms. You just need a machine that somehow you could program, and it would be capable to reform, reconfigure all of the atoms into the atomic structure you want. So you think about that, wow, high technology. No more waste, no more garbage, because you could literally take everything, take the atoms apart, and then put them back together in whatever you need. You don't like the house, like when they want to build a new house. So they break down the old house down to level dirt. They throw away all the building material. Now you could just take it apart into its atoms and then rebuild it into a new house, a new structure. That would be amazing. No more waste on that level. Unfortunately, even with this idea of taking things apart into their individual pieces, let's say, and then putting them back together, even with the high tech, we haven't much changed humanity from its original disordered form. And we want to go back to that. We entered into this world, as we often talk about, one being. Genesis 1, out of the endless world came one being that was composed of male and female energies. Then Genesis 2 was split in half, male and female, Adam and Eve. What did Adam and Eve do? Adam and Eve created chaos. And remember, you and I are all parts of Adam and Eve. There's the same pieces. Today we look at the world, we see 8.5 billion pieces, meaning human beings. But in essence, we're Lego pieces. Yes, we often remind ourselves here on Spiritual Sunday that we're all still eternally on a spiritual internet. So there is an interconnectedness between every single human being on earth. And we are all affecting each other 24/7, because that internet is constantly open. So we learn how to shine light into the internet, so we're protected from the darkness that may come from 8.5 billion people, but we're still on the internet. So we're affecting them and they're affecting us. So the 8.5 billion pieces that were within Adam and Eve, which are all of us, we chose to partake of, to immerse ourselves in what's called the realm of the tree of knowledge, good and evil, the world of chaos, good and bad, ups and downs, healthy, sick, chaos. We chose it. And that choice has been going on because we had the opportunity. There was the tree of life, absolute perfection. There was the tree of knowledge, good and evil, the world of chaos, where the pieces were taken apart and reassembled like that jigsaw puzzle in the wrong ways. And sadly, from that point forward to today, humanity has been taking apart the pieces, i.e. all the people, and putting them back together in just another chaotic order, another chaotic configuration. The simplest example that I think of is there's a dictator somewhere and people don't want to be dictated to, and therefore they overthrow the dictator. They rise up in revolution because they don't like the dictator, they don't want to live that way, so they overthrow the dictator. But history has shown that the next person to get into power just becomes the next dictator. Yes, better for some, the people who were overthrown and the people who supported the overthrown dictator, yeah, they may be in big trouble now because there's a new dictator in power, but the people who supported the revolutionary and that revolution, now they're in power, oh, they have the good and the other people have the bad. But it's still chaos. If any human being on earth has chaos, we all, because of that one spiritual internet, we all have some form of chaos. Yes, I can hear your opponent saying, well, that's not true. Look at this and this and this. And here's a simple example. So there's a bad guy who was out, genocidal maniac, killing all kinds of people. So people rose up, overthrew that dictator. Yes, somebody else became dictator-like. And people say, oh, the world is so great. Yes, maybe there's not violent shooting and killing and torture in that way, but maybe the form of chaos, the form of negativity, for many people became illness, painful illness. That's just on a spiritual level as chaotic, as disconnected from the perfect, infinite light of the Creator, which is eternal bliss, as violence. Maybe for somebody else, it was a loss of business. They lost their money. That's also chaos. The Creator gave us everything. Health, peace, love, prosperity, protection, all the good. So any form of lack, any form of darkness, any form of chaos and confusion, any form of discontent is a sign of lack of light. And so yes, it may change forms from bad health, bad business, bad relationships, car accidents, what have you, a sense of unworthiness, discouragement, hopelessness. It's still chaos. It's still darkness. It's still not the perfection that we came here to manifest, to experience, and to live. So we keep just tearing the pieces apart and putting them back in another form of disorder, another form of chaos. Because it goes back to one simple choice that is really the only choice every human being has every moment of the day. Do an action that connects to the light of the Creator, reveals more light of the Creator that has been implanted in our soul, emanating it out into the world, doing actions which carry that next level of light. Like we say, greater love, compassion, kindness, greater generosity, forgiveness, tolerance, greater humility, gratitude, appreciation, greater trust, certainty that the light of the Creator is infinite, fills all space, all place, the infinite, even invisible universe. And that light is the only source of lasting fulfillment and has been implanted inside of us. We're here only to take it from inside out. And in this case of the present situation, put together into the original perfection, the 8.5 billion pieces of the one being of humanity. Unite the one soul that one being, physical being, came into this world with. That's why every religion ultimately teaches that the ultimate way to live, whatever the religion is love your neighbor as yourself. Because the true meaning of love your neighbor as yourself, as Karen said, to be concerned, to keep in mind with every word, thought, and action, how is it bringing more light and blessing to every human being on earth? Because we have reached the level of seeing clearly and knowing absolutely that every person is me. Every person is a part of me, as every cell and organ of my body is a part of me. So too are the 8.5 billion people on this planet. One interconnected, universal being. So whichever way you look at it, we're just in a cycle of, meanwhile, most of the world, replacing one form of chaos with another. And I don't care in which way you look at it. People are in a relationship, they leave the relationship because they don't like it, they find somebody else. They 99% of the time, unless they're learning what we're teaching here and awakening their consciousness to live what we're teaching, they just replace it with another person that's the same, just in a different body. Or the same with business. Person doesn't like their job, so they reactively get out of that job, and because like will attract like, they will reactively find another job that may look very different, a different profession altogether, but it ends up being the same. Discouraging, uncomfortable, creating just more discontent. Look at your life and tell me you haven't done that a few times in this lifetime. I know I have. Certainly before I found the center, because the center gave me the eyes, the wisdom to have the eyes to see that that's what I was doing. Before I understood that I have this AI program called Satan, the opponent in my head, like all of us, the opponent in my head was just telling me, oh, no, that person wasn't good, you'll go find another person. That job wasn't good, you'll just go find another one. That situation wasn't up to your liking, find another one. And of course, the next one initially always looks better for a short time, and then it's the same old, because you and I learn. If I don't change, and I am the creator of everything in my life, if I don't change, then what I create doesn't change. Different form, different scenery, different external, but the same. I mean, it's like, really, if you watch a James Bond movie, whichever movie it is, it's really the same story. Here's the spy, he's got an adversary, the adversary gets him, catches him, blah, 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 and in the end of the story, he defeats the adversary and saves the world. So why do we go see it over and over and over? If you like those movies, whatever movie you like, right? Same thing, basically the same story. Why? Because the scenery is different. The opponent is a little different. The goings on in between are a little different. But in the end, you know, the good guy's going to win out, right? James Bond is going to defeat the enemy and save the world. Or whatever movie you watch, whatever movies like that, it's always the same, just looks different. Life has been the same, you, me, and the world. Just the external has changed. So I would like to awaken you, me, and everybody you'll share this video with, to at least, like we say in the classes, I'm not asking you just to blindly accept what I'm saying, but I am asking you, at least listen with your heart. Don't blindly reject what I'm saying because it touches a wound inside you, or it doesn't seem sensible, or it doesn't even seem true. But mull it over for a while. Listen to what I'm about to share with you, and make an effort to stand back objectively. Like we'd say, sort of step out of your body and look through the body of you out to your world. As you see the world, as you've been looking at history, or even just the history of your life or people or things around you, we are in the midst of a worldwide nanotechnology of humanity. The final nanotechnology. Because just as, yes, we've always known jigsaw puzzle, Lego pieces, you know, the dictator replacing a dictator, etc. Nanotechnology was about microscopic things. The very small that we can't even see with our eyes, atoms, protons, neutrons, and electrons. An atomic piece, atom, take it apart and reassemble it how you want. We are on the spiritual, final aspect of nanotechnology, spiritual nanotechnology, where, as we affirm every spiritual Sunday, consciousness is everything. When we do our affirmation, looking at it now with these eyes, it is spiritual nanotechnology. Greater love, kindness, and compassion. Seeing the miracles and wonders of life. You wake up in the morning, raising your consciousness or shifting your consciousness to see the miracle. You woke up. It's the opponent in our head that makes us take for granted that when you go to sleep, you're going to wake up. But we all know there are whatever, hundreds of thousands, millions of people every day that went to sleep and they didn't wake up. Their soul left the world. How do we just take for granted? You and I, we drive down the street. You go to work like you go every day. You go to the store every day. You go to visit friends like you do all the time. And we take for granted that we're going to just drive there unaffected by any outside forces. But there are people every day on their way to work get in an accident, people on their way to family, friends, whatever social events. They don't make it, they get in an accident, fender benders even. Nobody got in the car thinking or hoping that was going to happen. Nobody wakes up and says, gee, they hope that they're going to get sick today, or whatever chaos. So consciousness is everything. Seeing everything is a miracle of the light. The fact that our body even functions, even if there's a little ache or pain somewhere, it's still only functioning because the infinite light of the Creator is infinite, constantly shining light on us, and therefore keeping the atoms, the protons, neutrons, and electrons that make up atoms, that make up all parts of our body and the physical universe, existent. If the light, heaven forbid, could even stop shining for a microsecond, the whole universe would fall apart, because everything is made up of atoms, and the electron in the atom, as with all the other particles, it's just easier, let's call it, to see in an electron, is constantly moving. It never stops, no matter what the outside conditions are, only because it's empowered. Microsecond to the next microsecond by the infinite light of the Creator. Let's stop taking things for granted. Let's initiate, activate, even if you've been appreciative. Either initiate appreciation more and more. You drove where you drove without an accident, appreciate it. You woke up in the morning, appreciate it. You ate without choking, appreciate it. You have food that's in your house, appreciate it. Appreciate everything that you can think of moment to moment while you're doing whatever your daily activities are. We are capable of doing more than one thing at once. We can appreciate, we can channel light while we're doing Spiritual Sunday, while you're driving, while you're eating, while you're watching a movie. Everything you do, we can also, one, appreciate that the light is giving us the ability to do, and appreciating the miracle of being able to do what we're doing and channeling light out on the spiritual internet to every human being on earth. Reach their heart and soul. Because there is a heart and soul of the light of the Creator in everybody. Maybe blocked, maybe covered up. Like they say, cold-hearted, stone-hearted. But there's still a heart. When you break through the coldness, or you break through the stone, you get to the warm heart of God in everyone, which is pure love. And as we wake up in us and in others, that pure, unconditional love, and send that out through the spiritual internet, we are waking up in every human being on earth more and more of that pure, warm-hearted, unconditional, loving heart of God. And that, as it will drive you and me to greater actions of love, kindness, compassion, will do the same for them. And imagine the thief who has awakened in them enough of that heart of God, love for all humanity. how could they steal from themselves? When they come to realize, because their heart is awakened, that the person they were about to steal from is they themselves. It's like taking money out of one pocket and putting it in the other. What did they really do? Nothing. Committing violence. They'll come to feel with the awakened heart of God that hitting somebody else is hitting themselves, causing themselves more pain. That is real nanotechnology, taking apart the pieces of chaos, of all the animosity, all the divisiveness, and putting it back in its proper order. I pray that we all have this awakening today. Do you really want more chaos? And I know the opponent puts in our head, well, if we get rid of that person who's influencing these people to do the things I don't like, then I will have greater peace. But like we read from Karen in the beginning, what about the other people? The person you don't like, who you think is creating chaos in the world today, like we said with the dictators, there are plenty of people who like what they're doing. So when you think, if that's the way to do it, if you think getting rid of that person is going to make the world a better place, you're wrong. Because the world is everybody. The world is not half. So half will like and half won't. The world is not 95% who like and 5% who don't. It only takes one person to upset the world, especially now. I mean, the old idea, heaven forbid, zillions of times, but there's so much technology. One person with, heaven forbid, a zillion, trillion, zillion times, a dirty bomb. One person with a little bit of anger, hurt, hatred, can cause a lot of chaos to a lot of people. We didn't come out of the endless world to be 99% pure. If you think about the terms, it's not even a true statement. Pure is 100%. So nothing is 99% pure. Pure is pure. You could say it's almost pure. It's getting to purity, but still got something that's not pure. What's going on in the world today, I see, I feel, I understand, and I share with you this. It's just the final taking apart the pieces that had put together wrong, like we've talked about, put together in the wrong way. So it's still chaos, just in another form. But it's now. The opening is in the cosmos. The world is ready, whether you let yourself accept it or not. But the time is right for us to put back into its original order peace, love, unity, harmony, the oneness of humanity. It's ready. But like I always talk about with the jigsaw puzzle, you need to be able to see the picture on the box, the perfect form that those pieces are supposed to be in, to be able to more quickly and efficiently put all the pieces back, not put them back into their original perfect order. There is a perfection. If you believe in a creator, the perfect creator can only create perfection, a perfect humanity, perfect beings. So when a person lets their Satan, their opponent, their adversary in their head, that AI program tell them, no, that person is imperfect, they need to realize that they are, as Rav Ashlag calls it, they are speaking badly about the Creator. They are in essence giving the Creator a bad name. Because a perfect Creator only creates perfection. And to call some part of creation imperfect is to deny the Creator, to deny the perfection of the Creator. Yes, every one of us has the ability to use our perfection in a temporary, chaotic, creating manner. Look at the world. At the same time, you and I are learning through the Kabbalah Center, because we understand through the lineage of Kabbalists, the Rav, through his teacher Rav Brandwein, through his teacher Rav Ashlag, all the way back to the origin of the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon, and even beyond that, in oral form, Mount Sinai. The Zohar is the picture on the puzzle box. The Zohar is the original perfect blueprint and all the spiritual rules of the universe, technology of the soul. And therefore, as we often speak about, spreading the Zohar puts the energy of that perfection all around the world, the light that shines through the Zohar, because even though it's in physical form, it's the closest thing to the pure, endless light of anything in the physical world, and therefore can bring every human being, transcendent of race, color, religion, talent, etc., because we all have the soul from the same Creator. The Zohar can bring all of us back into our original perfection. Rav Ashlag, and I wanted to share this quote with you from his writings. How can a single individual have an influence on the entire world? It should not surprise you that an individual can, through his own actions, cause any rise or decline to the whole world. It is immutable law, immutable, eternal, cannot be altered law, that the collective and the individual are equal to each other like two drops of water. And everything that applies to the collective also applies to the individual. This being said, it's actually the individuals who make the collective do what it does. You and I do have power. It's been given to us by the Creator to put everything back into perfection. We, as we talked about as Adam and Eve, took things out of perfect order. We, with the power of the Creator, on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis, choosing the tree of life, using the power of the perfection within us, we will bring the world back to its perfect state. Michael Berg, in the last number of years, has been reminding us of our perfection, reminding us that we are pure pieces of the light of the Creator. That where we are now, no matter how spiritual we think we are, no matter how elevated we think we are, our true perfection at this moment is so much more. Not that we should be discouraged, the opposite. The more we grow and appreciate our growth and our blessings, realize there's exponentially more we can do, can have, can experience, are capable of. So then the faster that we have certainty in that perfection and use that perfection to live into that perfection, greater love, kindness, and compassion, greater tolerance, care, love for others, greater shining more of our light, especially into the darkness that we have perceived, will accelerate the spread of the light, which accelerates the transformation of darkness to light, chaos to order, curses to blessing, hatred to love. Because of the one soulness of all humanity, as you and I accelerate that process, we are causing an acceleration of that inside every human being on earth into their absolute perfection, seeing and living the unity of humanity, and at the same time then returning the world to its original perfection. That may we all, with this awakening, with our commitments to do so, spreading more Zohar, bringing more people to understand this wisdom of Kabbalah, this technology, return the world to its original state of Garden of Eden. God bless. Yeah. So, just want to remind you, please make sure, I know many of you do this, many of you constantly, you're on a regular basis supporting the center, spreading the Zohar. This is the easiest form. It's all the Zohar. Yes, it's all the Aramaic, but it's all the entire set of Zohar. The 23 volumes we have in the Aramaic English, it's all the Aramaic, so that people have all the sections. Because there's a section for health and business and spiritual cleansing and prosperity and love and overcoming our addictive, compulsive natures, etc., etc. Everything to bring us back to perfection is here in all the sections. This is just a piece that makes it easier to carry around. Pocket, purse, glove compartment, backpacks, everywhere. So make sure you have all your friends, family, and as we keep reminding you, the ultimate project of the center is the Zohar project. People going around the world to hand these out with love and care for all humanity. I'm a student of the Kabbalah Center. I'd love to give you this gift of blessings, health, peace, and protection. Just offer it. Then it's in their court. Yes, yes, no, no. Just to update, for those of you who've been keeping track with us, we are just shy of giving away at this point almost 1 million. Our goal is 1 million. We're just 900,000 Zohars being distributed because of your generosity and your efforts to yourself hand out more Zohar, support the Zohar project. May we, with your help, accelerate that whatever the critical mass of Zohars out there to shift the balance, that the light will be the majority in the cosmos. May it take place in this year, in our lifetime, that we are the last generation to have seen chaos and divisiveness and animosity, separation between people. I put the link here, especially this week. It is probably the most powerful week, although any day that you give charity, tithing to the center to accelerate the projects is good, but it's always nice to be able to take advantage when there's a cosmic opening, because this week is the cosmic event that humanity created 2,400 years ago called Purim. It's our connection, an opening in the cosmos for literally peace on earth, no more death, pain, and suffering. And so the Kabbalists teach us that this is the most powerful time of the year to give. So I encourage you, yes, appreciate everything that you give to the center. I encourage you to really meditate on giving with a stretch, giving the extra mile this week in the consciousness of Purim, and removing, as we did at that time in Persia, death, the decree of death on millions and millions of people. Only this time, it's removing the decree of death from the entire humanity, billions of people. So, along those lines, let's do our meditation. This is one of the 72 names of God. Most of you are familiar. If you're new, it's to understand the Hebrew letters are nanoparticles of the infinite light of the Creator. They are just portals, as Karen always called them, channeling light from the endless world into our world. The Rav started the idea called scanning because barcode scanners came around, easy for us to understand. Eyes are the window to the soul. The light that shines through this combination, Mem Vav Mem, is spiritual cleansing. Will cleanse the negative thoughts in our head, will cleanse the opponent, the adversary, the ego-centered, artificial, intelligent voice planted in us, will cleanse our brain of it. So yes, it is a brain cleansing, getting rid of the darkness, the lies, the falsehoods, and allowing only the voice of our soul to remain in our heads, guiding every word, thought, and action. So just let the shapes be engraved in your mind's eye. Mem, Vav, Mem. And so I ask you, sit comfortably in your seat, feet flat on the floor, hands in your lap. Relaxing into the light of the Creator. Taking a deep breath, inhale through the nose, hold the breath for a moment, exhale through the mouth. Taking a deep breath through the abdomen. Let the energy of that light force of breath flow from head to toe. Exhale through the mouth, letting go of all chaotic thinking, any stress, tension, blockages you may have had up to this moment. With every breath, allowing yourself to relax more and more into your pure light beingness. Relax into the metaphorical embrace of the Creator. Feel yourself wrapped in the blanket of the pure light, infinite light of the Creator of unconditional love. Allow yourself to experience, to see, to feel that you are being upheld, supported, and guided by this infinite light of the Creator, the consciousness of unconditional love, pure care, and absolute perfection. Let this light and this warmth you're surrounded and filled with of the unconditional love of the Creator, allow it to open the gates of your heart. With trust that as you open your heart to the true heart of God in every other person, only good, only love, only blessings can come to your life. So be going back to your normal pattern of breathing. Let's envision together above our heads, Mem, Vav, Mem. This combination of particles of the light of the Creator that activates spiritual cleansing to remove all darkness, all the spiritual mud and curtains that have hidden our pure soul. See it above your head, Mem, Vav, Mem, radiating this light of pure spiritual cleansing. Feel the vibration of the energy of this name. If you have a particular situation in your life where you can't see clearly, you don't know the answer, you're confused, have a sense of reactive feelings, use Mem, Vav, Mem to help you cleanse the spiritual mud, the dirt in your spiritual eyes, so you can see the solutions and hear the voice of your soul, and the support to send light into the situation and to act upon the voice of your soul as it guides you to cleanse the situation for you and for others of the mud, the curtains, the blockages that have come between you and them. So together we let the Mem, Vav, Mem, shining its light, allow it to enter through the top of your head. Entering into your mind to cleanse the mind of all the negative thoughts, the thoughts of illusion, falsehood, the lies about yourself and others, about the universe and about the Creator. Mem, Vav, Mem, cleansing your mind, your brain, of all the spiritual dirt and darkness. That the light and the voice of your soul is all that you hear, is all that you know, all that you live. And now let the Mem Vav Mem cleanse all the rest of your being. Let it flow through the rest of your body to your feet, cleansing all the spiritual mud, healing all the spiritual wounds, breaking down all the walls around your heart, all the blockages, so as to allow all the light of your soul, your perfect and pure light being, to shine. Feel it, sense it. Experiencing more and more of who you really are. The you that the Creator created from its own perfection. Feel, think, sense all the negativity washed away in the light. Transformation of all your negative actions, reactive behavior, into proactive, emanating the pure light of the Creator, unconditional love out to the world. Together we beam the Mem Vav Mem from our newly cleansed heart of God and shining it out into the pure heart of God in every human being on earth. Piercing through the mud, piercing through the darkness, piercing through all the walls that have blocked you, me, and them from living our perfect life in perfect unity in a perfect world. And as we send this light out from us to the heart and soul of every human being, take note of the greater sense of peace, clarity. Trust the voice of your soul that you're hearing now is the voice of your soul, because it's telling you how to share into the face of darkness, how to share with those that previously you've held blockage towards. That is the sign, it is the voice of your soul, bringing you greater blessings as you shine more light, bringing each of us greater protection from darkness, and transforming us and others as physical light does. So much more this spiritual light, taking away all the spiritual darkness. Yes, you are sensing what heaven on earth feels like, what the Garden of Eden looks like. And what peace and unity through unconditional love feels like. Let's commit ourselves to make this peace, heaven on earth, Garden of Eden, unity of unconditional love. We commit ourselves to make it manifest in our time now. Together we'll take one more deep breath, solidifying and anchoring this into our heart, soul, and mind, and the commitment from this day forward. And as you exhale, slowly opening your eyes. Thank you for joining us. Please share this with your friends. Put it out there on the physical internet, that it will reach people that you don't even know. But it will reach people as we put it out with our love for humanity and our desire for the end of chaos and the manifestation of heaven on earth peace in the world. Like will attract like. As we send it out with that energy and that consciousness, it will reach the billions of people who are ready, who seek and desire the end of chaos and the unity of all people. God bless. Have an amazing week. Till we meet again. Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, click the subscribe button so you'll be notified of future videos as we post them. Would also love to hear your comments and questions, whether it's about this video in particular or about the wisdom of Kabbalah as we teach it in the Kabbalah Center. If you'd like to learn more about various subjects, go to our website, www.kabbalah.com. We have thousands of articles and classes on various subjects within the wisdom of Kabbalah. Share this video with other people. If you were inspired and it can change your life, let's start changing thousands and thousands of people's lives around the world also. If you'd like to contribute in support of Spiritual Sunday and the projects of the Kabbalah Center, that link is also below. I wish you an amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be out there. And may God bless us all, that we awaken the light of the Creator, not only inside us to a higher level, but touching the heart and soul of every human being on earth with the light of the Creator.